What's up, guys? It's been a while. Um, I've been thinking, you know, what are some things in STEM that if people that want to go into some sort of engineering field, what's something that they're gonna have to know and keep with them forever? And so I thought parameters. Now, this probably doesn't apply to some of the younger people out there, but this does apply to some of the older people who are interested in going into fields of engineering, specifically middle school, high school people. I mean, I myself need to deal with them all the time. So, what are they? Well, they're kind of like preset limits everything needs to fall into. Um, Examples of which are like, you know, you have these big throwing marbles here. They're all within something called a specification or perimeter. Alright? They all have to be about the same size. They all have to be about the same weight, diameter, you name it. Big words. Smartly brain. But it's not just those marbles. I mean, I have these marbles right here, and something that is an example of an item that falls outside of parameters is this guy. And now, it's kind of hard to pick up on camera. There we go. Can somebody... You're not gonna be able to tell me right now. Please tell me what the issue is with this one. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Well, it's got a kind of a flat spot. Whenever it lands on this flat spot, it doesn't roll around like its cousin, brother, whatever you want to call it here. So once it's on there, it stays on there. Probably a good paperweight if it was big enough. But other things that need to fall into parameters are this thing. I made this with the Home Club 3D printer. Gotta have two halves. Gotta have this little peg, and this little peg needs to fall into parameters that allow the two halves to fit together. This thing, the layer height of the 3D print needs to be at a certain height. All sorts of stuff that goes into making, well, pretty much anything. Examples that don't really have parameters. This, right here. This is a failed 3D print. How can you tell? Well, it's only halfway finished. That's kind of my fault because I kind of sort of forgot how much of this white stuff we had left. But, I mean, it's cool because you get to see the cool honeycomb, hexagon, whatever you want to call it, pattern that the 3D printer makes to save on plastic. Other things are my water bottle that the Boys and Girls Club of Austin graciously gave me. It needs to hold a certain capacity of water. It needs the top to be able to unscrew. It needs to be able to be tightened back. Have the top closed and open. All sorts of stuff. This has an extremely tight tolerance or parameter, whatever you want to call it. It needs to be about 3.5 millimeters in diameter, this top part. Hold on for a second. Let me flip the camera. No, never mind. Things that don't have parameters are people. Everybody is different. Nobody is the same. If everybody was the same, where would all the creativity go? I mean, I'm over 6 feet tall. My dad's about 6 feet tall. My sister is 5'3", and my mom is 5'2". We don't have any set parameters. I'm looking at this bucket, but popcorn. No two pieces of popcorn is ever going to be the same. Don't see them, but butterflies. These things, you can see them. They don't have any set parameters. So, sorry about that. Whenever you need to make something, you need to know height, width, depth, how much it weighs. I mean, I could ramble on this for hours. I'm not going to. This video's already gotten a little long, but it's just something to keep in mind whenever you and a friend want to have a big project, you want to make something, all sorts of stuff. I mean, even this spoon that I have on my desk, yeah, it has parameters it needs to fill in too. So if anything falls outside of it, I think this was a little bit of a shipping mistake. You can see it a little better here, how it has that flat spot. So I'm not gonna blame them. I really don't care. So I hope you tried to learn something from this video. I'm not trying to force my knowledge upon you, but I would greatly appreciate it if you gave the Home Club and all the clubs support. And I hope you stay safe during these troubling times, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.